Say that again,
This is
please.
Harry Noisette, who was in the Navy in World War II on the USS
Barry.
Barry. And he was
Getting old.
in the North Atlantic and also in the Pacific. So we got some questions for the interview. Harry Noisette. What's your middle name, Harry?
Joseph.
Harry Joseph Noisette. And this has been conducted in Charleston, South Carolina, where Harry is from. When and where were you born, Harry?
April the 22nd, 1925.
And where?
Right here in Charleston, South Carolina.
Who are your parents?
My father is Harry Noisette, and my mother is Esther Noisette.
And what did they do for a living? How did they make their living? Were they farmers or?
My father worked as a blacksmith one time at the Navy Yard.
At the Navy Yard.
And my mother was just a housewife.
Okay. How many brothers and sisters did you have?
I had 4 sisters and two brothers.
Did any of those serve in the military?
My brother did.
Your brother served in the military.
Yeah.
And what was his name?
John Philip Noisette.
And was he in the Navy also?
He was in the Army.
In the Army?
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite a break from the family tradition, isn't it? Was he in World War II also?
No.
Oh, he wasn't. Oh, it was after World War II or
Oh,
before?
after.
After.
He's younger than me.
Okay. What were you doing before you enlisted? You did enlist, did you not?
Yeah.
What were you
I worked
doing?
at the American Tobacco Company.
American Tobacco Company. That was that big building over there near the bridge?
Yeah, because of the old cigar factory.
Did you roll up cigars?
No, I was the dishwasher
Dishwasher?
in the
Okay.
cafeteria.
Oh, that was a big place then.
Oh, yeah.
Was it just cigars or cigarettes too?
Only cigars.
Only cigar. Did they get Cubans in to help out?
No.
All American, huh?
That's right.
So you served in the Navy, and you enlisted,
Yeah.
and you enlisted here,
Right here in Charleston.
right here in Charleston. So what, tell us about your start. How did you go to training camp from here?
From there, I went to Norfolk, Virginia.
And that's where you did your basic?
After I done my basic, and after my basic, I come home on, I don't know how many days leave, and I went back, and I was assigned to the USS Barry
In Norfolk?
in Norfolk.
Uh-huh.
No, but actually, the ship that I caught it down in New Orleans. I had to come after boot camp, and after my leave, I leave Norfolk, Virginia, and went to New Orleans. That's where I catch the ship.
That was where Barry was?
The Barry was still in the shipyard being repaired.
Tell us a little bit about the history of the Barry.
Well, it was actually a DD, which was only was 4 stack, and it was converted from 4 stack to 2 stack. What was a EPD, which carries troops. We had 4 landing crafts.
So it was amphibious personnel destroyer.
Amphibious personnel destroyer.
And so it did it's a hybrid, did a little bit of everything.
Oh,
Carried
yeah.
troops, and
Yeah,
destroyer,
We carried troops.
and landing craft.
Yeah, we had 4 landing crafts.
Yeah. So you told me that there's also a sailing vessel before it was a Ford. Didn't you tell me that?
Before 4 stack.
It was a sailing, and I guess that was, and then World War I, they made it into a 4-stacker.
Well, the first, see, there were 4 Barrys.
Oh, 4 different ones.
Yeah. See, Barry was the first Secretary of Navy,
Uh-huh.
and they had 4 ships in there. The first one was something like one of them old ships with the sail stacks on it.
Uh-huh.
And the Barry that I was on was Barry number 2.
Uh-huh.
It was a 4-stacker, then they converted it to APD, but it come 2-stacker.
Uh-huh. So it was a coal steam operator when it was 4-stacker. Then it became
No, it was oil.
always diesel.
Oh, yeah.
Always. That oil, diesel oil. Yeah. So that was, I read where that was, the Barry in your fleet was, most of them were reformatted here at Charleston Navy Yard.
Yeah, the Barry, I think they was below in the Navy, I know shit about it.
Yeah, the Navy Yard made it.
The Barry ran into commission in 1922.
1922. Okay. So what was it like at boot camp? Was it any problem? Were any of the instructors hardcore or
Nah,
pretty easy?
No, I didn't have no trouble.
Yeah, you told.
No.
Did you specialized training? Did they train you to become a cook, or they just made you a cook?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. When I went aboard the Barry, there was a chief steward and there was a chief cook. And when I looked around again, I was everything. Because when they transferred the cook and the stew and the other mess attendant, I was the only one left. I mean, I was the senior person left. And they put me in the galley cooking, which I never cooked a day in my life, because I had 4 sisters. My mama done the cooking, so I had nothing to do with cooking. But I ended up cooking. And the officers used to brag about my cooking.
Oh.
But I don't know, I cook from the book.
You learned how and
Yeah, from the book.
used the recipe book.
Yes, sir.
So, did you have any problems adapting to the boat, the life on board? Did you have any problems adapting
To me, it was, well, I was but 17 years old, so.
to that? You were very flexible.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
So, how about, did they train you as you were a cook, but they also put you on the guns?
Yeah, I was what they call hot shellman or gun one.
You were the gun one?
Yeah.
And you were the hot shell. Describe that to us.
Hot shellman is when you shoot the gun, the shell come out hot. So I had to wear asbestos gloves all the way from here down here, and I had to catch that to keep the other sailors that on the gun, the loader and everything, stumble over it.
Wow, that was quite a responsibility there.
Yeah, I tell you, it wasn't no fun when them Kamikaze come at us.
I bet. So, I guess they trained you to run from the galley to the guns when you all were being attacked, or they just...
Well, when son, come on, I don't care where you at, you better go to your gun station.
Quickly, right?
Fast as you could.
Yeah.
But most of the time, they used to come, we used to call them on bed check Charlie.
Uh-huh.
And they come around either early in the morning or late at night.
Bed check Charlie, huh?
Bed check Charlie.
Was that a officer or a warrant officer or petty officer?
That we used to call those Kamikazes.
I see. You're running out.
Yeah, they come around time you get ready to go to bed.
Oh,
Just as you get into bed, just before time to get up in the morning. They come in.
yeah. So, before the Pacific and Okinawa, you also served in the North Atlantic and submarines. Tell us about that duty is?
Well, that submarine duty was kind of rough, because all you know, you pick them up on the radar, and you don't see nothing. But it's usually drop them depth charges and stuff like that there, and you see a bubble of oil come up, and you figure you have it, but you don't know. They're down there. You can't see them or nothing like that there. And they let that oil out, and all you gonna do is say, well, I got a sub.
So you,
And we see, one time we was up in the North Atlantic, and we had three destroyers used to escort. And one of them, late that night, the aircraft carrier, they didn't fly at night. The planes didn't fly at night. And when they was coming in, they see this big old German sub out there fueling a smaller sub. And they saying one of the ships had it. And all that sub done is just ramming. And we went out there to pick up the survivors.
they rammed the sub, or
No,
the sub
the
rammed?
sub rammed the ship,
What was the name of that ship? Do you remember?
Bori.
The Bore. B-O-R-E got rammed by a German sub.
Yeah.
And was sinking, and y'all had to pick up the stuff.
Yeah, I don't know whether we lose anybody or not, but we had to go, the Barry, see with the Barry, the Bori and the Gulf. And the Barry's one went out at the sub. And the Bori, the Gulf and the Barry had to go and pick up the survivors.
And what was that like? What would those men look like? They all full of oil, with their covered with
But
oil?
I don't remember. All I know, we picked them up.
They were very grateful.
Oh, yeah.
Very grateful.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I bet. So what ports did you go to in the North Atlantic? What ports?
We used to go mostly in Casablanca
Casablanca.
and Casablanca and we used to go to 3 ports up in the Irish. I can't remember the one right now.
I guess it's the one in Casablanca was in Morocco.
Yeah, and we used to go up there in Italy someplace. I forget right now. It can't come to me. But
Yeah, another port in North Africa.
yeah, but 3 of them we used to go into.
Did you get port leave there?
Oh yeah, we get port leave.
Did you enjoy the port leave?
Well, Naples was the other place we used to
Naples,
go to.
Italy.
Yeah, we used to go to Naples. Then we used to, port leave was nice.
A lot of fun. You go out and have a good time.
My first time going to Casablanca, I get thrown in the brake.
The what?
I get thrown in the brake.
And the brig. What'd you do?
Get drunk
You got drunk.
and fall out in the park. And all I remember, I went in the brake. When it came me to the brake, the fellow said, "There's a mattress right there." As far as I get is inside the door.
Was the brig on board, aboard, or
No,
was
I was on shore.
it was ashore?
On shore in Naples.
They just leave you in there overnight?
Yeah, then they take me back to the ship. Then I was restricted to the ship.
They didn't. But in Naples, you didn't have any problems like that.
No.
You learned your lesson.
I learned not to drink that cognac.
Good. So your boat then sailed to South Pacific, and do you remember what port you went into there in the Pacific?
And it was, we went into well, we didn't rent a boat because they haven't secured the island yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
so that was just Okinawa?
Okinawa.
That was the last battle in the World War II. So you ended up there, and it was one of the worst, if not the worst, naval disasters in U.S. history.
Yeah.
Because of the Kamikazes. Tell us some more. Tell us some more about the Kamikaze attacks on the boat.
Well, look, them kamikaze, when they come at you, because two of them come at us, and we hit both of them, and all you see is a ball of fire coming. But the second one hit us just below the bridge. And they knocked a hole in us biggest, but we didn't go down.
But you had to evacuate the ship.
We abandoned the ship.
Tell us about that.
Well, see, we had the 4 landing crafts, so all we had to do, we put them in the water.
Those were great lifeboats.
Yeah, then they take us to this big troop ship.
Okay.
And we stayed on there until they ship us back to the United States.
Did the landing craft take you to another ship?
Yeah.
And then they they patched up your boat. And
They put a patch on it, and they set it out there for a decoy.
Decoy.
Yeah.
So
Some kind of way they had automatic machine guns or something on them, and when the Kamikaze come at it, they just shoot. That's something like a 22. I don't know what they were shooting. I wasn't on it then.
yeah, nobody was on it, right? It was
Nobody
just a
was
decoy.
on it.
So, but it got rid of another Kamikaze because the Kamikaze hit it.
Yeah, the Kamikaze come back.
Did you see that?
No, we can't see it.
You couldn't see it, too far offshore.
No, it's
Too far away.
See, we was in there, man, I don't know how many ships was there, because we was getting ready to get the voyage, go to China. And, there were so many ships out there, I don't know why they pick on that ship.
Well, it's good the second time because there's nobody aboard.
That's right.
Got rid of the Kamikaze. So you've, I see you've been awarded 2 Bronze Stars. Was that during the Kamikaze attacks? Did you,
Honestly, I don't know when I get them. I know, all I know I have, they got them on there.
Well, tell us some more about the action. Did you have to try to help some people get on the landing craft, or?
We didn't have we had some injuries, but we didn't have nothing serious. But we did have some fellas, was injured, but from scaffolders and stuff like that.
So you helped some of the injured?
I look for myself, number one. When you're there, no, I mean, it wasn't nobody that bad that needed help. No,
Yeah.
too much help.
But you were in the gun port, is that what they call it? Number 1 gun?
Number
When the Kamikaze hit?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see, they knocked down the first one though, they shot down the first Kamikaze,
Yeah,
right?
they shot down 2 of them coming out to get the first. The first one, we hit both of them, but the first one went down before they get to us.
Did you see that happen?
I had to see them on gun 1.
Yeah.
All you see was a ball of fire.
Ball of fire.
That's all.
I imagine that was pretty scary.
Scary. Everything you done wrong coming in front of you.
Yeah. So that second one hit the midships, and what did you do then? Help evacuate the gun port?
Well, nobody was that serious that they didn't need too much help. But I know what, Harry was looking for number 1.
Yeah.
Harry, get off that boat.
Well, I thank you for, do you think Bronze Stars were something to do with the Atlantic?
I really don't know.
You don't even know?
I don't remember when I get them.
Well, I'm sure that there was something there. You're a modest man. Did you make some good friends when you were aboard?
Oh yeah, we were pretty friendly because we used to have, up until maybe 9-10 years ago, we used to have a reunion. And I used to, but it wasn't just the one ship, it was the whole task force. Used to meet at least once a year. We used to have it. Everybody started getting so old and stuff like that then, so there's just, and you know, stuff there.
Where was the reunion?
Anywhere.
All over the place.
All the place.
Did they ever have one here in Charleston?
Not in Charleston, we was in Myrtle Beach, but not in Charleston.
Myrtle Beach?
Yeah.
Well, reading the Green Dragon book that you brought in, I saw that most of the boats were reformatted to two stacks with local name. There was the Baker and the Roper and the Clemson. Most of them were reformatted right here in Charleston.
Yeah, we was converted, yeah.
Got quite a history here in Charleston.
Yeah.
So you had a reunion every year until a few years ago.
Quite a few years. Everybody getting old.
Yeah. So so you got treated well as a cook? Did everybody treat you well?
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't have no trouble.
They really appreciated you.
Well, they had to.
You're feeding them.
Everything was all right. We was in Maples one time. Maybe I tell you this, but when we was in Maples one time, the officers went someplace and somebody gave them a big old bag or something, lobsters. And they bring it there to me. They want me to cook them. I said, I never see a lobster in my life. I said, I ain't cooking no lobster. I said, if y'all want to eat them lobster, y'all go in the galley and cook them yourself. But I don't know nothing cook. I could have cooked crab, which is the same thing, but I don't know nothing about no lobster. I never did see a lobster. Yeah.
So after Okinawa, you sailed back to the States, or did you sail into China?
No, we can't transport and come all the way back to, and I think we come into San Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah, we was in San Diego, we had no clothes or nothing. All we had is what we had on that night. We was
Hit by the Kamikaze?
hit by a Kamikaze. We had nothing but dungarees. And I don't know whether we had a cap or not, but we used to have fun with that. They used to talk when we come in back to the United States. Them officers used to pick on us and all like that. We tell them we don't have no clothes.
Oh, okay.
We didn't. It was quite a while before we get.
So that was the officers too?
No. I mean some officers off the base.
Oh.
And especially I think it was a lot of them ones we call 90-day wonders. Them 90-day wonders and them fellas just come into service and they just want to do this and do that and all that. And we showed them, we don't have to listen to all that stuff they got. It was especially, we didn't have no clothes. We had nothing but the dungarees and stuff we had on when we were sunk that day. And that's all we made a hat for a month. Before we get uniform.
In San Diego?
Yeah.
Was that where you were when the war ended?
No, I was home in Charleston.
Oh, you got home in Charleston when the war ended. And so you had to spend a month. Then how did you get back to Charleston?
But by train.
Train, they put you on a train.
And
And by then you had a uniform.
we had all our uniform by then.
Good. So did you get treated well in San Diego, besides being teased?
No, but we had fine treatment because we didn't have to do nothing.
Yeah. Do you remember at Catalina Island?
Yeah, I heard them talk about Catalina.
San Diego, near the naval shipyard.
Yeah.
So was this had your family been communicating with you during the war?
Oh, my mother used to write me all the time.
Your mother wrote you all the time?
Oh, yeah.
That must have felt good. So I imagine they were pretty happy to see you. They were waiting for you here in Charleston at this train station?
No, but I mean, See, I was single then, I was still living with my mother. And I got from the train, I went home. And that was, you know.
Very happy to see you.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Did they expect to see you? They knew you were coming home.
No, I don't.
You surprised them?
I don't know, I don't remember.
So do you belong to any veterans organizations now? Do you belong to any veterans?
No, right now, it used to be the veteran, something I used to be a member of, but right now,
Used to be a what?
veteran, something was the name, I forget. the name.
DAV? No.
No, it wasn't, just, I think more local.
Okay, some kind of local thing. So what did you do once you got back here?
I went back working back at American Tobacco Company.
Oh, you went back to work there.
Yeah, I went back working there, everything was all right until some incident happened at the company. And I said, we treat that person like that, what they could do to me. So I said, goodbye. And I went to the Navy Yard.
Went to work in the Navy Yard.
Yeah. And the way they treat him, I said, Lord, what they could do to me.
Yeah.
So I said, goodbye, left.
And from the Naval Yard, you heard...
I worked at the Navy Yard, I get laid off. I went back to the Navy Yard, I get laid off again. The second time I get laid off, I was ready, I don't know whether you went to Minecraft base, used to be down there for the Castle Street. That's where I used to work at, in the Navy Yard. And when they laid me off that time, I looked back at the Minecraft base and said, Lord, if you help me get a decent job, this Navy Yard will not see me no more.
So you got in the post office?
And I went, actually I used to do construction work. From that I went to General Service Administration. And after, when they built the new annex up at Rivers Annex, I went to the post office. I transferred from General Service Administration to the post office.
So that was your last job at the post office, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did that wartime experience affect your life? That all that traumatic things you went through, submarines and kamikazes, did it affect you at all?
No,
It didn't
didn't bother me.
Didn't make you nervous?
No.
Good for you.
I made it through it.
Yeah. So what are some life lessons you learned from the military?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
So how did that service affect your feelings about the military and war? Did it?
It didn't affect me. Sometime, I think if I wasn't sent back to the Navy Yard here in Charleston, and I probably would have stayed in the service. But I run into
So you liked it that much?
Well, I didn't know I had no kind of education and nothing like that.
Yeah.
So I figured I could have stayed in the service.
Yeah.
You know, I run into what we call a 90-day wonder offer after the.
And that's the reason you left?
Yeah, he pushed me out the service.
Yeah, but you got an honorable discharge.
Oh yeah, I got honorable discharge.
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing stupid.
Good. So what message would you like to leave for your future, for the younger people about your life? What message? I know you've been coming here almost 20 years, this fitness center.
Oh yeah.
After your cardiac rehab for triple bypass for almost 20 years. That's quite remarkable.
Yeah, next year I'll be 20.
20 years here at this fitness center at this Roper Hospital.
Yeah.
That's quite remarkable. You're a good role model. I appreciate you because I got another 20 years behind you, so 20 years, hopefully I'll be still working out here. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about?
No,
Did you think of some kind of message for the young people?
no,
Yeah, you told me you went to church every day too.
oh yeah, I used to go to mass every morning.
Well, this is getting close to the end of the interview. I just really appreciate your service, Terry. Mine gave out a time at 29 minutes, I think. Is yours 30 minutes there, Sandra? Can you tell?
It doesn't tell me.
Okay. Well,
Might be a little shy of
Well,
30
I
minutes.
think this one was 29 minutes, so it's almost, then I can add the photographs. We're supposed to get 30-minute interview. And so I can add the photograph that you gave me in the book, the photographs of the book and to the video, so we can get 30 minutes easy, because I know this is 29 minutes. You got any questions?
Yeah, I do. This officer that you met, this 90-day wonder, that you say you left the service, what do you mind telling us what he did that made you leave?
He didn't do nothing, see, but what he was, why we call him a 90-day wonder, he was a young officer. And other words, but you went through, but I went through, he's one of them fellas just come into service. And I don't know what happened, but it was me and another fellow, because we was working in the officers' mess, you know, serving tables and stuff like that. And I don't know whether it was his wife or somebody had him upset that morning. And he come in with the wrong, you know.
Attitude.
Yeah, and I done been out there, done almost get blown up the water. Then you, excuse me.
Which he didn't have to face. He didn't face that, did
No. Why we call him 90-day wonder.
Yeah.
He was a young officer.
Miss all the combat.
Yeah, he probably didn't want to be in the service. He one of them fellas went to colleges up and then he had to serve so much time. And he asked me that he didn't want to be there. His wife upset him before he left home. And I mean, you know, things like that.
Yeah. You know, but he just gave you a hard time.
Yeah, he just come there in the morning sometime. Cause I know, so I said, Lord, let me go back home to my mama.
So this happened in San Diego?
No, right here in Charleston.
Here in Charleston?
Yeah,
You were still in the service?
yeah, still in.
You were aboard another boat here?
No.
No. Just in the naval yard?
We just come off survival leave.
Ah.
That was on what they call survival leave.
Oh, okay.
And after my survival leave, I went to the shipyard. And when I went to the shipyard, the war ended. Then
So that's where you were when the war ended?
Yeah, I was at the shipyard.
Are you still recording?
Yep.
Great.
And I just can't put up with him.
I hear
If
you.
it wasn't for him, I might have stayed there for 20, 30 years.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, because I mean, I really enjoyed the service. I mean, it was,
Good.
well, when I first went in the service, it was segregated.
Yeah.
See, and I went on a ship, but most of the fellas that I know, friends of mine, they used to be unloading ships, ammunition and all like that. See, but I really enjoyed my time on the ship. You know, you go so many different places.
Do you think this guy, do you think this 90-day wonder, do you think he was prejudiced, or do you think he just had a bad day?
I don't know.
You don't even know.
You know, sometimes something that's, I don't know what's wrong.
He was just grouchy.
Yes, so,
So he was trying to order you, but being rude to you. He was being rude to you.
well, I forget what happened one morning. He come in there, and he wasn't on the I don't know what was wrong with him, and he come there with his daughter. See, you done been through all this stuff, and he probably wasn't in the service a year. Then he come out here giving you all kind of static and all of that there. So I mean, no, you don't want all that.
Well, that's a good lesson for the Navy to hear, or any kind of officer, enlisted man interaction. It's good to hear that don't pick on the survivors.
So what did the USS Barry get? You got credit for 2 kamikazes? Shooting down 2 kamikazes?
Yeah, well, one went down, but the other one hit us. That would sink us.
And before that, had you sunk any submarines or anything
Well, they
like that?
claim me somewhere. You don't know whether you sank them or not.
You saw the oil bubble.
That oil go bubble up.
Do you know how many times that happened?
Quite a few.
Quite a few. Because I know the USS Clemson got credit for 8 submarine sinkings
Yeah.
in the same convoy. They were
Uh-huh.
leading a convoy, helping a convoy, protecting from submarines.
Yeah.
So I imagine they had the same thing. They just saw the oil coming up.
And when you see that oil coming up, you say you done hit the south.
Yeah.
See? And all they got to do is open that valve and there's so much oil come up. Yeah.
Did that, the submarine that rammed the Bory,
Yeah.
did it get hit? Did y'all get it, or did it get away? There's 2 of them, right?
The big sub is supposed to fuel in the smaller sub.
Yeah.
And the big sub rammed the boy. They didn't have to shoot or nothing.
Did they get away?
I mean,
You don't
I don't know what happened. I get away.
Yeah. And then y'all went over there and picked up survivors.
They pick up survivors.
Yeah.
And the aircraft guy who we was escorted was complaining, everybody leave them out there by themselves like a sitting duck.
The aircraft carrier, remember the name of it?
The car.
The car, C-A-R.
I think it was the car we used to escort.
Well, that's fabulous. This is a great interview. Is there anything else, Sandra, that you can think of?
No, sir.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you,
This
too.
was a wonderful interview. Very enjoyable. You